You're leaving money on the table every single month. Or worse, you're sitting on a vacant unit bleeding cash because you guessed wrong on your rent. Stop guessing. There's a precise method to price your California rental, a sweet spot where you maximize income without enduring costly vacancies. Ignore it, and you're simply subsidizing someone else's housing. Your rental price isn't a feeling, it's a calculation. The foundation of that calculation is accurate comparable properties, or comps. But not all comps are created equal. You need to focus on 5 critical data points. First, location. Not just the city, but the specific neighborhood, school district, and even block. A unit 2 blocks away can command significantly different rent due to school ratings or proximity to amenities. Second, property type. A single-family home isn't comparable to a condo, and a duplex isn't comparable to a high-rise apartment, even with similar bedrooms. Third, bedroom and bathroom count. This is obvious, but don't compare a 2-bed 1-bath to a 2-bed 2-bath without significant adjustment. Fourth, square footage. A 900 square feet 2-bed is not the same as a 1,200 square feet 2-bed. Aim for comps within 15 to 20% of your unit's size. Finally, amenities and condition. Stainless steel appliances, in-unit laundry, central AC, a renovated bathroom, these add value. A unit with original 1980s fixtures is not a comp for your recently upgraded unit. Now here's where it gets interesting. You don't need to pay for expensive market reports. Tools like Zillow Rental Manager and Rentometer provide free, surprisingly robust comp data. Search for How to Price Rental California, and you'll find plenty of free resources. Filter by these 5 data points. If you find 5 solid comps, you're 80% there. If your average comp is $2,500, but your unit has new flooring and AC, you can justify an extra $100 to $200. Conversely, if your unit is dated, you need to price below the average. This isn't guesswork, it's data. Ignoring market seasonality is like leaving a $20 bill on the sidewalk. You wouldn't do it, yet you might be doing it with your rental income. The California rental market isn't static. It ebbs and flows with the calendar. Demand peaks in late spring and summer, specifically from May through August. Why? Families move when school is out. College students relocate for the fall semester. People prefer moving in better weather. This surge in demand translates directly to higher achievable rents. Proof point: data consistently shows that rentals listed between May and August command 8 to 12% higher rents compared to units listed in the colder, wetter months of November through February. Consider a unit that rents for $2,000 in January. That same unit could fetch $2,160 to $2,240 if listed in July. Over a 12-month lease, that's an extra $1,920 to $2,880 in your pocket. That's not insignificant. If your lease is ending in December and you have the flexibility, consider offering a 6-month lease to get your next renewal cycle into the prime summer months. Or accept a slightly lower rent for a midwinter lease, knowing you'll recoup it on the next cycle by hitting the peak season. Don't let your lease cycles dictate your income. Strategically align them with market demand. You operate in California, which means you operate under AB 148-2, the statewide rent control law. Many of you dismiss rent control as a nuisance, but understanding its specifics is critical for maximizing your long-term income and avoiding costly legal battles. This law applies to most multifamily properties built before 2005 and single-family homes not owned by corporations or REITs, where specific disclosure notices were provided. But wait, there's a catch. AB 1482 caps annual rent increases at 5% plus the percentage change in the Consumer Price Index, CPI, for your specific metropolitan area, with an absolute maximum of 10%. For example, if CPI for your region is 3.5%, your maximum allowable increase is 5% plus 3.5% equals 8.5%. If CPI is 6%, your maximum is capped at 10%, not 11%. You must provide a 30-day notice for increases up to 10% and a 60-day notice for increases over 10%. Ignoring this means your increase is invalid and you could be forced to refund overpayments. This isn't just about compliance, it's about strategic planning. If you underprice your initial rent, you handicap your future increases. A $100 underpriced rent today means you lose that $100 plus the compounding 8 to 10% annual increase on that $100 for every year the tenant remains. Factor this into your initial rental pricing strategy. Don't start too low, thinking you can catch up later. California Rent Control 2026 isn't going anywhere. Understand it now. The most expensive thing in real estate is a vacant unit, period. Yet many landlords cling to an unrealistic price, letting their units sit empty for weeks, even months, convinced they're holding out for the right price. This is financial suicide. You need to understand the true cost of vacancy. Let's do the math. Consider a unit you're trying to rent for $2,000 per month. You stick to this price, and it sits vacant for 2 weeks. What did that cost you? 2 weeks is half a month, so $1,000. Now, what if you had priced it $50 lower, at $1,950, and rented it in just 3 days? Your loss per month is $50. But your gain from filling it immediately is $1,000 from avoiding 2 weeks of vacancy, minus 3 days of prorated rent, approximately $195. You're still ahead by over $800. A 2-week vacancy at $2,000 per month costs you $1,000, often more than a $50 or even $100 rent reduction. This calculation doesn't even include the cost of utilities you're paying, potential property taxes, insurance, or the opportunity cost of not having a tenant. Use a simple vacancy cost calculator. Every day your unit sits empty, you're losing money, not saving it. This is why accurately pricing your rental in California is paramount. This isn't about being cheap, it's about being smart. Pricing psychology is a powerful, often overlooked tool in your rental pricing strategy. The difference between $1,995 and $2,000 is just $5, but the perception to a prospective tenant is vastly different. $1,995 falls into the $1,000 range, while $2,000 crosses into the $2,000 range. Mentally, people process the first digit most strongly. Contrarian take. You might think it's trivial, but it's not. Studies in retail have shown that prices ending in 0.99 or 0.95 significantly outperform round numbers. This principle applies directly to rental pricing. You'll often see a surge in inquiries and applications for units priced at $1,995 compared to an identical unit at $2,000. For $5 a month, you could get 10 more leads, reducing your vacancy time and increasing your chances of finding a higher quality tenant. This isn't about giving away money, it's about optimizing your funnel. When you're performing your rental market analysis, consider these subtle psychological nudges. They add up to real money saved in vacancy costs and better tenant selection. Recap. To avoid leaving money on the table, you must use data, not gut feelings. Run comps based on the 5 critical data points: location, property type, bed-bath count, square footage, and amenities. Strategically align your lease cycles with seasonal demand, aiming for May through August listings to capture 8 to 12% higher rents. Understand AB 1482's 5% plus CPI max 10% increase cap, and factor it into your initial pricing. Finally, never underestimate the true cost of vacancy. A 2-week vacancy at $2,000 per month costs you $1,000, and leverage pricing psychology by using prices like $1,995 to attract more applications. Your goal is maximum income with minimal vacancy, not just a high asking price. Powered by LeaseBase Intelligence.